Good morning, class. We are going to go over the syllable division strategy for the VCV Syllable Pattern. So first of all, I just want to go over open and closed syllables. So let's start with a really quick exercise to get our brains going, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and let's start here in our column. And this is B, correct. Mo, correct. Fi, correct. Ri, correct. Say, correct. Now, what can you tell me about all of those syllables? Correct, they all end in a vowel. Now, when a syllable ends in a vowel, is it considered open or closed? Correct, it is considered an opened syllable. And so when it's an open syllable, the vowel sign or the vowel sound will be lung, as in E, as in B. So now, let's go over and let's review our list over here. So why don't you guys go ahead and say the words. Beg, correct. Mont, correct. Fin, correct. Riv, correct. Sal, correct. Now, what can you tell me about all of those? Yes, they end in a consonant. So that means that the vowel sound will be short, as in as in beg, or in as in mott, or as in the it, as in fin. So, which is great. So now, let's go ahead and let's move on to our next. Since you guys got that down, let's move on to our next lesson. And we are going to take the word begin Okay. Now, let's look at the word begin and let's think about how we can divide this word. So, first of all, let's go through our steps. There are 6 steps, and so we're going to walk through them one at a time. The very first step is to identify our vowels. And so our very first vowel in the word is the letter E. And so under the letter E, I'm going to write a V for vowel. And our very next vowel after that is the letter I. And so that is a vowel. Now, our second step is to identify any consonants that come between our 2 vowels. And in this case, we have the letter G. So the letter G is a consonant. And so we're going to label that with a C. So now we have our CVC syllable pattern. Okay, so now our rule of thumb says that when you have a syllable, a CVC pattern, you want to divide the word after the first vowel. So in this case, we want to divide the word begin after the BE and before the GIN. Okay, so there we go. So now we still have our vowel, consonant, and vowel right there. So now let's work on blending this and to make sure that we are correct and that our syllable breakdown is proper. So, the first is B. Begin. Begin. So now, does that sound like a word that you are familiar with, that it is a real word? Correct. Begin. Begin is something that happens when you are about to start something. You have to begin somewhere. So begin is correctly divided after the first vowel and before the first consonant. Okay. Now, sometimes we actually divide our word after this CVC breakdown after the consonant. So, let's move on to our next word, which is closet. So I have the word closet. So now let's go ahead and identify our vowels. Our first vowel is the O. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to put a V under the O. Now our next vowel in this word is the letter E. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to put another vowel, a V, for the vowel under there. Now our next step is to identify the consonants. So now how many consonants are between our VCV pattern? 1, correct. So our consonant in this case is, correct, the letter S. So we're going to go ahead and label that with the letter S. Now, continuing with the original rule of breaking down the syllable and dividing it before the consonant, so you would divide it after the first vowel and before the consonant. So now when we do that, as in closet, so now let's look at this. So now we have, let's think about this. So our syllable now ends in a vowel, so it's an open, which means it's long. So it means that this sound is clo. All right? So let's go ahead and let's blend our word together to make sure that we have it divided properly. Closet. Closet. Now, to me, that's not a word that I recognize. And so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to reevaluate like it says to do in step 6. And I am going to rewrite my word. And I am going to change where I have divided my syllables now. So instead of dividing it after the first vowel, vowel, consonant, vowel, vowel, consonant, vowel, I'm going to divide it after the first consonant and before the second vowel. So now I have what here? When our syllable ends in a consonant, we have a closed syllable, correct? So let's go ahead and this word, let's repeat. So this is close-et. I'm sorry, no, that is wrong. That would be close-it. This would be clause-et, closet. Now, is closet a word that you recognize? It is for me too. A closet is where you hang your clothes at your house. Or maybe you've got a linen closet. Or maybe you've got a closet in the front entryway of your house. Okay, so now this one, you guys, I want you guys to get a piece of paper out, and I want you to, I'm going to do this one with you, but I want you guys to be the driver on this one, so be ready. All right, so now we have the word river. So now let's think about how the word river is. Okay, so let's think about our rules. Now first we want to do what? We want to identify our vowels. Correct. So now our first vowel in this is, correct, the letter I. And so we're going to put a V, correct. And then our next letter is the E, and we're going to put what under this? Correct, we're going to put a V under this as well. So now that we have identified our vowels, let's go ahead and identify our consonants that are between the vowels, because that would be the next step. So go ahead and look and tell me what the next, what the consonant is in this word, in this vowel pattern, or in the syllable pattern. The V, correct. So let's go ahead and label that as a C. Alrighty then. Okay, so now we have our vowel, consonant, vowel pattern. So now tell me what the rule is for dividing a vowel, consonant, vowel syllable. Correct, we're going to divide it after the first vowel and before the consonant. So in this case, we're going to divide it here. So now let's think about this. Now we have, what type of a syllable is this? This is an open because it ends in a vowel. So that means our vowel is long. So that means this syllable is pronounced right. So let's go ahead and let's blend our syllables and put the word together. Ready? Okay, I want you guys to do it. River. River. So now, is that a word that you guys recognize? No, me neither. So let's go ahead and let's look at step 6, which makes us reevaluate what we are looking at. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to go back to steps 4 and steps 5. Now, let's go ahead and rewrite our word. Okay, so now we'll label our vowel, consonant, vowel. So now dividing it the other way, where we have our division between the consonant and the vowel, this gives our first syllable as a closed, correct, as a closed syllable. So closed syllables mean that the vowel sound is short, correct. So this would be pronounced as riv, correct. So now let's go ahead and pronounce our 2 syllables and blend this word together. Ready? So we have riv, river. Very good. Okay. So now, you guys did great on that. So now we're going to go ahead and I'm going to put this up on the board. And I'm going to have you guys all I wonder if I can get this to do this. Maybe, maybe not. Okay, try it this way. Okay, all right. So now here we have a bunch of words, all right? So as you can see, these are all words that have the vowel, consonant, vowel syllable pattern. So we are going to go ahead and we are going to go through this entire list and we are going to break those words into their proper syllable patterns. Are you guys ready? Because you guys are going to drive. Okay, so our first word is frozen. So let's look at our syllable pattern. Vowel, consonant, vowel. So where would we divide? Now is that right? Frozen, frozen. Correct. Now let's go on to our next one. It starts with the vowel. So we have our vowel, consonant, vowel. So we're going to divide it. Even, correct. Okay, so let's go on to our next one. We have tiger. So we have our vowel, consonant, vowel. So we're going to break it. Tiger. Tiger. Correct? Okay. Now this one should be easy. You guys just did this one. You remember what it was? Correct. This one's the different one. And so we are going to break it here. And this is now river. Oh, look. So tricked you guys. So which one is this one again? That's correct. So we're going to divide it here. And it is the word even. Very good. Okay, now I want you guys to go through the rest of this on your own, and on your sheet of paper, I want you to write each word, and I want you to write where you think that breakdown is in that word. All right, you guys, get to work.